If you're not getting int off that kill, I mean, come on. What do you want this guy to do? He's a silencer with brown boots.
Yeah, the hero could use a little XWY. It's just, I'm going again. Quinn's just not allowed to farm safely. He doesn't even care if, like, Quinn sees him coming. Like, I'm going to push you off the wave. You're not going to be able to farm nearly as much. I mean, Tusk that wins lane is a pretty active hero.
I mean, you're going to have fast Battle Fury Troll and fast Ags on Nature's Prophet this game.
He's doing like 20 damage a hit, but he's getting a lot of hits in.
Oh, imagine if you bought Blade Mail here.
Oh, man. I was imagining, what if he went the Maelstrom build instead of the Battle Fury build? Because then all of these hits would actually translate into some early damage.
Yeah, but again, what are you playing for in Troll in this game? I think you're playing for Swift Blink Abyssal.
Right.
So, whatever helps you get there, I'm all for.
Got to keep your eyes on the Lina.
Yeah, why are you going to buy Maelstrom and try and skirmish with Troll in this game? That sounds miserable. Get Battle Fury, hit neutral creeps that can't cut you, and get the 6 slots.
Uh-oh.
Global to bail him out.
Global is going to bail him out, at least for now. Monet did not have to use the ultimate with the multiple TPs coming in, especially XWY. Gaimin Gladiators are going to respect that.
I think he regrets that TP on Tusk, though. If they dive, he'll clean something up. Now he just has to amble his way back to mid, giving up some space. Upside is Nature's Prophet doing nature things, cleaning up bottom tower, pushing bottom in with a Catapult Wave and Treants, and he's going to have Ags very soon here.
I strongly feel like I'm okay with the Nature's Prophet Lina change because I feel like Nature's Prophet changes the game.
He really does. This item is just insane. There's no way around it. I think at TI, for me, Naga was the largest map abuse hero. There just wasn't a clear way to stop it. The ore items made her invincible in the fights. I feel like MP has taken up that role. There's not a way to deal with this map pressure. He can join every fight. He scales immensely hard. And Ace, you need 2 Vanguards for this, son.
Yeah, he really does. He's going to do what damage he can, but he knows he's dead. His teammates cannot get to him in time. It does put Battle Trance on cooldown for a bit, so we'll see if Aster or if Gaimin Gladiators do try and abuse that at some point.
Really, Cap? Battle Trance on cooldown? I don't think I've I don't think I've ever heard a pub teammate say, yo guys, Battle Trance on cooldown. It's time to go.
I just mean he's a little bit easier to gank, you know?
I mean, the only person who's going to threaten this Troll is Quinn. And again, his early game was rough. He's doing Ancients to catch up with the Boots of Travel first. And you pick the Bat to kind of keep the map pressure versus the NP. Again, if that equilibrium falls out of place, XXS is having a way better game. It's not the case, right? Faster BKBs for this Troll and MP. Faster faster dispels for the supports potentially. Timings are everything. Tofu.
Down, smoke screen used as well. Setting the snowball, and with the Underlord coming in, they do manage to get the lasso just in the last sec. Ace is going to help deliver some damage here. Snowball back in. He just does what damage he can to Quinn, and Quinn almost dies for it. The curse is not going to take him out. So he will be fine just on 30 HP, but decent play there from Gaimin Gladiators, the rotation base, with bringing Dyrachyo in to put some pressure on this mid tower. Unfortunately, Glyph was still up. So the Living Armor, I mean, Aster is making much better use of this Treant Protector and the Living Armor than Gaimin Gladiator, or excuse me, than they managed to do in game 1.
Maybe not playing against Furion helps that as well, but
yeah,
for sure. True. He didn't max it as well, so he can still contribute to the fights. I also like that Aster don't overcommit on some attempted turnaround there. You're really close to this NP Ags. You're really close to Battle Fury on Troll. Those 2 heroes just kept farming both Silenes and back into the jungle. You're not losing on economy here, right? If you're Aster, you don't have to overreact to a play like that.
Yeah.
It's very nice that they didn't, because I think they got a lot out of the map. Sure, XWY dies, but it was a huge committal for gaming. You come back, you take a tier 1 off it. Your game flow is still going here, right? And that Ags is up, so it's going to start to shove these waves in faster. It's going to start to root you in the fight, which helps Monet a lot. And he's going back on Ace. He hasn't had enough of the punching bag. Back to the gym.
And he completes the Crimson Guard, so you were totally right about the item build. Not too often that we see this item, but it is a pretty dream game for it.
He is quite literally invincible versus Troll with this item for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, yeah.
You also have to think about late game nullifiers here for Aster. We're talking about gap closing Lina. We have seen so many double 4-staffs, triple 4-staffs for this hero. I would really like to see it on the radar going deep in this game because 4-staff is already out for Dyrachyo, right?
Yeah, so we want to see a few more, at least maybe on Celery, who's probably, I guess, where that fluffy hat is going.
I think it's been an overlooked aspect of this hero. Sure, you can build the gap close. You can have the gap close through your heroes. But how many fights have we seen where you go on Lina and he gets double forced and what happens?
Yeah, he Hurricane Pikes you and
Yes.
gets a reset of 600 range, and then he turns around, gets a couple of force staffs. Yeah. Especially against their initiation is Nature's Wrath and Overgrowth. Those are your ways to be able to hold Lina in place, and Snowball and Shard, right? Force staff seems insanely valued.
The other mechanism outside of building expensive items is you can build slightly less expensive items than the Blink Ags for Tusk and just kick them in.
Yeah, you were
Or
talking
kick
about, you said
somebody
that
else.
Ags could be really value in this game.
Yeah, I think the Tusk Ags is almost the win condition here for Aster. You start kicking these heroes in. How do you follow up on that if you're gaming? You have to follow it up into Overgrowth, into Global. That's where the support spells become very easy to cast if you're Aster. And Troll can go to work, right? Troll likes the one-on-one. He doesn't really like the 5-on-5. He likes when you try and man-fight him.
You don't think, is it because they have Troll and Nature's Prophet? You don't need to help out in damage at all. You could just go utility on Tusk. You don't need to go like the Desolator one-shot punch sort of build.
Yeah, I don't think Deso was the call this game.
Yeah.
I could still see it if you were having a really fast early game. He did have a pretty good one, but I think you need the Tusk BKB, and the faster you get it versus lineup that's going to try and kite your melee heroes, I think the happier you are.
Right.
And then I think Ags just seals the deal if you're 10 or 12K ahead, right? If you look at where Quinn is in this game, he is not happy. He doesn't look happy in the booth either, but he
When
is
does he,
having
though?
a rough game on this Bat Rider.
Man, this what they're currently doing right now with this smoke rotation and Quinn trying to do Ancients, I mean, if you think he's looking upset now,
Somebody's dead here.
just wait
I'll
till
tell you that much.
his support dies and his Ancients get stolen. Yeah, it could get real bad.
He's getting a package delivered, and he's not going to like what's in it. It's going to be a big walrus glove.
Aster's going to drop one of those bags of dog poo on
The
him.
booth falling apart? Are we duct taping a window? What's happening?
Yeah, we got a. Looks like a cable fell a little loose here. So
Goddamn,
on the Aster
XWY
side,
broke the booth with his punches, man.
Damn.
Walrus punched the booth. Chill, bro.
How many players through history of Dota history have punched a monitor?
Puppey.
Puppey,
Well,
of
he
course,
threw
but
it. He
he
threw
threw a
something,
headset. That was a little different. I mean, in ways, that was smarter, right? Protect your
I mean,
hands.
it's
That's
like-
your instrument.
What's the list, right? It's probably Puppey, the entire North American region, and
There was
Maybe
TI2,
Zhao ate once.
TI3. Somebody did. I can't remember who. Was somebody on Alliance on TI3? I think maybe when they won, actually. I think somebody
oh
punched.
yeah, Admiral Bulldog threw his. He broke the.
Well,
monitor
yeah.
through
I mean,
his-
he was bringing down the whole entire cage there.
That's true.
Man's a beast. 1-5. Aster currently looking at a 2,000 net worth lead. Much better setup for them in game two, at least when it comes to the laning phase. What are still your concerns when it comes to them in their draft? Because you seem pretty pessimistic about their chances. But now that they've won
Well,
the laning phase, that forgives
Like I
a
said,
lot
I
of
think
things.
these drafts are a lot closer than last game. They
True,
have a lot
yeah,
more
you
play
did say
options.
that.
I think whenever you have play options and you have comfortable heroes, you have this Nature's Prophet that can push in waves and set that pickup off. I think the draft can function, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing stopping us from winning this game. I just think it looks like a hard troll game on paper. If everything's even in the very late game, Lina's online, Bat has refresher ags, this type of thing, I could see the game getting weird. And it was really dependent on the start, too. We talked a lot about how these lanes matter. Well, Aster won the lanes, so now they're very favored in this game because the Bat momentum shut down. This Bat troll matchup doesn't matter if Bat's not a hero, you know?
That is pretty true, yeah.
Crimson Guard helps a little bit, but you're still going to have to deal the damage here, and at some point, Troll's going to force the Roche. If you're missing a cooldown, you don't have the teamfight capability. Lina gets caught once. A lot of this map can snowball. That's the other problem with this NP. If you miss one fight, you mess it up, you get a good pick off, he just takes everything. It's the Grim Reaper, man.
Power of duct tape.
Duct tape can fix anything,
See the
except the Dota team.
Well, fortunately,
Can't
Aster
plug
don't
those
seem to
holes.
need fixing. I was a little bit concerned for them after game one. I mean, we both had them as, I think, the top Chinese team coming out of the region.
I had
We
them
thought
top
they were
four
going
at
to
the
be able to.
tournament.
You had them top 4 of the tournament. I think I had them. I also had them top 4.
Well, they
But the
changed
smoke. Where'd it go?
They
Did
gave
they-
up.
They moved to the other side of the map. Oh, it would have been a dream opportunity for them to be able to shut down Quinn even further, but instead they go to the other side of the map. Hopefully they get something out of this.
Find a bigger prize,
Dyrachyo, Alina kill would be massive. Tofu's going to try and help him out with the smoke screen, but he doesn't have Sleeping Dart just yet. They do have the Nature's Prophet who's going to be joining them, but Dyrachyo with that Force Staff got a little bit of distance. Now the Overgrowth's going to be used to hold them in place, and they're going to be able to get Tofu as well. So 2 nice kills for the side of Aster. Maybe that is better than killing a Bat Rider and stealing his Ancients.
Honestly, that was a pretty big Ancient stack. I don't know if I'm taking the Ancients there, but they're happy to take that, get a little extra int, slow the Lina down. Very pivotal in this time, right? If she's going early Force Staff, not that BKB, she's not really to take those head-on fights yet. And of course, XXS can join all of these moves and then clean up the lanes. Monet has Battle Fury online. Your towers are still standing with Treant Armor. Aster have set themselves up here for success.
Standing for now, but Ace does have a lot of bonus damage from this Atrophy Aura. He's chunking down this Tier 1 tower, and the Treant Protector has given up on protecting it. So, good read, too. I think maybe they had a ward in that jungle that spotted Quinn, so Aster started backing away. Now it looks like they're going to come back in force. They've got
if you're Aster,
here.
all you want to do is find Quinn, find Dyrachyo before they get the BKBs, and kill them as many times as you can right now. Get Paboka involved. This is the perfect type of setup for them.
Nice two-man curse with the snowball, cutting him off as well. A punch up in the air, XWY. The Crimson Guard is not going to do enough to protect Quinn. And now left alone, Ace is going to try and get through the teleport. Go, go, go. Calls the taxi and gets himself out of dodge. And will be able to get back to the fountain. But you said shutting down the Bat Rider is all important, so I'm sure Aster are not too sad about that.
They're very happy.
Quinn.
They're very happy with that move.
Yeah.
I'm surprised XWY didn't follow him through the gate there the way he's been playing. But
this man has been aggressive for sure.
Go through the gate, punch him, get out. That sends a message.
That would.
Of course, perhaps the ultimate message is every time one of these happens, Monet is farming. Are there many things scarier in Dota than Monet farming and you haven't seen him for a while?
Yeah, the panel was talking about, okay, the strengths of Aster, and I think they said Monet, like, they build around this team. Is that your assessment of Aster as well?
Yes. Monet is going to win them the game. XXS can pop off, XWY can make some good space, their supports can bring up the team fight, but Monet is your game winner on this team 90% of the time. They give him last pick, they prioritize his lane the most, they're going to set him up for success and hope he delivers. And honestly, historically, he's delivered a decent amount. Gonna try and get the punch. We'll get it.
We haven't seen too much of Celery, and that's because, as we just saw from the stat put up on the screen, he's been spending most of his time stacking. And very, very slowly dying. The Force Staff from Dyrachyo did not come in time. That's why he was sitting there. He was just facing forward. Dyrachyo's like, don't worry, bro, I got you. But the Nature's Wrath, just too much damage. Anyway, tons and tons of stacks. We do have XXS being aware of that. He's beginning to throw Treants in that direction. That would be a really good solution. The last one he threw, though, timed out 8 seconds before the 18-minute mark, so.
Little sad. Still good heads-up gameplay in terms of the economy, because Aster are not building a lead right now.
No.
This Underlord and Bat Rider are pushing the lanes out, getting farm, haven't really been able to kill Ace past that laning phase. Now you're going to try.
He's got a double damage on XWY, so Crimson Guard. Okay, do they have enough stuns here? They have another Walrus Punch, so he's going to time it. Half a second left on that TP away. So really well done by XWY. Stalling and layering those disables pretty nicely to maximize.
I mean, you definitely got all the time in the world to think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Double damage doesn't hurt either. Again, though, you're not closing out the map here if you're Aster. They ideally would still want to get some more skirmishes going or get to the BKB on Troll and just force the Roche with some advantage. Do not want to let Lina play too much Lina Dota, especially with the commanding position you have out of lanes.
BKB for Monet. Do you think that's, once he finishes that, we just go straight up just do Roshan? Can they do that? Can they just like 5-man Roche and be like, come fight us?
I don't think you can really force it, but you can maybe smoke the triangle. You can smoke and get vision, right? If nobody's there from gaming, then maybe you do it super fast with Troll and Tag Team. Because the Roche is fast here. It's just you don't want to give this Underlord a fight where his spells are amazing around the pit. And he does have the auras. Ace has Mech. He has Crimson Guard. Pushing towards the Greaves. This is kind of his early game power spike. You can also just dodge it if you're Aster.
Chase after Tarancio here. He does manage to skirt around both the Sprout and the Shard. They lost vision of him. Of course, they know he's over here on this corner. He's going to go ahead and force over the cliff. Go for a TP out. The snowball's going to catch him, though. XWY manages to close that gap just fast enough. A pretty good juke by Tarancio, but not good enough. Aster catch him anyway.
Those are the type of sideline pickoffs that Aster won in this game. That's what's going to give him an economic advantage, because now you can TP to the other side of the map, you can smoke, you can let Furion shove the waves in. Almost none of that is happening, but these are all possibilities, you know? And XWY is having a much better game, right? I feel like he's commanding this game as opposed to last time, where it felt like he had to force the moves, and the second one or two of them failed, his game became very hard.
Yeah, honestly, it just looks like a different Aster. When he
really
is...
does.
Like, he has to be a significant voice when it comes to shot calling, because when you get a shot caller or a killing hero, like, your team looks so much different than compared to what happened last time, where the Death Prophet didn't really have the same kind of effect.
Looks far more comfortable. The team looks more comfortable.
Yeah.
That said, Gaimin are hitting that window where they have the Underlords and they have BKB on bat.
Good force staff, the snowball after the force staff, though. The Shard doesn't quite latch, though, and actually blocks out XWY himself. He is going to get caught by the sleeping dart. And Ace is here. The rest of the team, the Gaimin Gladiators, are on their way, and they manage to force the BKB. XWY, the global silence and the punch being used to stall out the Bat Rider. Quinn is going to keep chasing after him, though. He's got BKB after all, so there's really no sense in giving up. Might as well keep going, see what kills you can get, see what you can force out of him. It is going to be a TP rotation out of the Troll, so now they're going to back away. BKB may have to be used on the Bat Rider until the save. Force staff as well as the pit being used. So getting a BKB charge out of XWY, keeping it on Quinn. A very small victory for Gaimin Gladiators.
Can they turn it into anything? Because this is when they want to fight. With BKB on bat, with the auras up. Global's going to be down here as well. Aster, pretty disciplined. They're just going to back up here.
Seems you're absolutely right about your read of XWY. He's going to go Blink Dagger into Ags is what he has queued up right now. So he 100% agrees with you.
Just seems to build. I mean, unless you're going Deso early on this hero, there isn't a lot else you can build. I've seen AC. AC wouldn't be too bad this game. Even extra force stabs would be pretty nice on Aster's side to help deal with hits and smoke screens, this type of stuff. But if you're having a good game like he's having, don't necessarily want to go.
Oh, getting baited on the illusion. Quinn immediately pops BKB with the last hope. The overgrowth is pretty nice. Immediately used the illusion to get rid of that one, but the force stats are able to get XWY out of here. And Monet thinking about going in. They're going to have to leave the Dream Protector behind. Bye-bye, Siamese Cat. He's going to have to rely on one of his 8 other lives. Aster. Are they going to fight for the pit now? Because Gaimin Gladiators, they say, hey, one little pickoff like that, that's enough for us to Roshan.
I agree. I don't think Aster are confident.
Oh, what is that? A force staff up to the high ground?
That's just nasty right
there. An offensive force staff, a nasty move.
Oh, Boboka, you did him dirty. You did him real dirty here, because now they're kind of questioning this Roshan. They're not even going to commit.
I mean, that sleeping dart is a pretty powerful force at this point in the game. Not having that in the smoke screen, it's just enough. Plus, now Aster back up in full.
And Global's back up. You missed that very small Roche window. And Monet says, my window's bigger. I don't care if you come at me now.
Go leap right
no lasso, no BKB on bat. Is this a fight for Gaimin if they're not the ones set up? Hit dropped.
Here comes that portal.
XWY
He's going to show himself right away. XWY just wants to fight right away while they're a bit separated. They're going to go for it, but the force staff gets them over the high ground. Monet has now popped its BKB and retreating with it. Not a great sign for Aster as they're going to get caught by the sleeping dart, at least on Boboka. Bye-bye, Boboka. Tried to give him a help with the force staff, and actually makes things worse. And now, Gaimin Gladiators, they're the ones back into the pit.
Yeah, overgrowth in 3, but no BKBs.
It's funny how both teams, in one little small support pickoff, both teams looking at that Roshan going, we have the advantage, we should force it, and Gaimin Gladiators end up being the ones correct. Or maybe XWY was wrong for going on Ace.
I think you can go there, but you can't commit. You can't commit early BKBs. You saw how patient they're trying to hold those out. And of course, Tua was MVP in both of those. I go back to force staff, man. Boboka with the aggressive and Gaimin with the defensive one on Ace.
Yeah.
kiting is the name of the game here, especially when you're playing a Lina lineup. You want to maintain the gap. You want to just prolong the fight as long as possible. Gonna have to start dealing with these at some point.
Can anybody help out this troll? He doesn't have BKB,
There's
and he's
no
stuck
help.
inside the silence. Can he get out of it? No, the flame break. Oh, he just barely dies from all of that. Not that I think Battle Trance would have done anything to save him there. There was a full 5-man crew of Gaimin Gladiators recognizing that Monet had overstepped himself.
You're in the wrong neighborhood. He was completely alone down there.
Yep.
You have to remember there's bots on this bat, bots on Lina, and the gate for the Underlord. All 3 of Gaming's cores can be on any of these lanes as long as you have Glip and a creep wave. Overextension, it's going to cost them a lot. Now we're in the Lina zone where she starts to pull ahead.
Yeah. Very few teams are willing to give up that Lina. And Duraccio is in a great place right now. Going to start building towards that Satanic. So now you got that kind of second life situation going on. Super hard to be able to burst her down. I mean, you've talked about how this 15 talent is insane for Lina. 350 health.
It is quite nice. It is quite nice, especially if he gets another tanky item. It feels like it just pushes you over that threshold of killable. Allows you to become the Sieger as well with an Aegis on the back of it. Yeah, suddenly Lina, 3,000 HP. This is how it starts.
Is
the
trying to
beginning
go
of nightmares.
He's trying to go Sanjin Yasha. You were talking about the Blink Dagger, Swift Blink, Basher builds. Is this after the SNY? Like, do you agree that he's taking this pit stop for Sanj? Because, I mean, there's certain things like it doesn't do a thing about smoke screen, right?
Sure. I mean, SNY BKB is pretty much the default build on this hero.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the highest value for the cost. Again, what is Troll's timing in this game? When I was saying Blink Abyssal, it kind of wasn't a joke. I don't know how easy it is for him to join these fights without it.
Okay, so you're saying this Troll really isn't an answer to the Lina into like 40 minutes?
No. Unless Gaming take a catastrophic position fight. These fights are still hard.
All right.
This is with the early lead Aster had. Again, Tusk Ags can help the Troll a lot. If you're kicking the Lina into him, it's a very different fight setup. But otherwise, I think Monet has to keep farming here. Something he does like to do.
Tofu's going to stop that. Just be annoying. Oh, they're actually going to go for it with the portal.
All of Aster's here, though. I don't know if Gaming know that.
Yeah, they're going to all file into this portal. They're going to start for it. Monet is just going to land into Lina, but at the same time, he has the Aegis, the Crimson Guard. He protected the Lina entirely. He took no damage whatsoever. Oh, man.
It's a nice carry you have there.
That was a little embarrassing.
Be a shame if someone bought Crimson Guard and removed him from the game.
Oh, my God.
I mean, this item destroys his hero. You need Nullifier, or you need the Magic Hybrid build, like MKB Mjolnir type thing.
Yeah, with an
But
early
even then,
Maelstrom build.
it just sucks. This matchup really sucks.
Wow. I mean, I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad. He like literally, he was sitting there. He got like 10 hits in and did no
You have
damage
to
to Lina.
remember, there's Axe-Fiora on top of this, right?
Oh, that's true.
This
Yeah.
is an Underlord Crimson, not just any other Crimson, but even
Look at him.
BKB here.
He lost like maybe 5% of
that's
his
him with
health.
full damage. That's not even
Oh
reduction.
my God.
So he's really suffering.
Snowball going to be used. XWY stalling up Quinn's aggressive move here. Pops BKB before the lasso goes out too. Can the rest of the team get here? Oh, look at that. Jirachu's already here. He waves goodbye though. His BKB lasts just long enough. But hey, they managed to catch the silencer at least. Tofu catches him with the sleeping dart. Bobica. Not having a fun time in that silencer anymore. That's for sure.
At least Aster is identifying some of the problems they're having.
Okay.
Because Monet was thinking about building Nullifier, and then XXS said, no, I got it, buddy. And he's going to build it on Furion next year. Already has the helm. Still, this isn't really the ideal Furion build because now he's putting BKB on the back burner. This is how much they feel like that Crimson and the other buffs are destroying Troll's team fight.
Yeah.
You are getting rid of this XXS BKB on Furion to go for a Nullifier here that is not even, it's not even guaranteed, right? Yeah.
Picho, we haven't talked about him too much, but he does have the Blink Dagger now, so gonna need a good overgrowth to protect some of these heroes. But you gotta wait out the BKBs at the same time.
Gonna need a lot of good things here because you got to push to the late game now if you're Aster.
Yeah, for sure.
These fights are not favoring you. Gaming got to their items. They punished you harder than you punished them after that early laning stage. XWY is falling a little bit behind.
Using the snowball is a little scary, but he doesn't have his BKB up. 5 seconds till it's up, though. Gaimin Gladiators not going to try anything, but they are going to poke into high ground. I'm going to say, all right, you want to go ahead and try and farm your Ancients or something? We're going to keep hitting this tier 3 that already took a ton of damage. Dyrachyo is taking it.
Why not?
And where is Aster?
He has Satanic. He has all the auras and 4 staffs behind him. Quinn's in a little bit of trouble.
Really nice catch. I mean, they were showing nobody up here in this top lane. They killed Quinn, and now they're going to TP back. So, I mean, I feel like that's kind of a desperate move. You're pretty much giving up your tier 3 and a chance of getting a kill, but
honestly, I take that.
Yeah?
I take Quinn over tier 3 here.
Oh my god, he's just trying to TP away like that. Dyrachyo has his TP canceled. He's going to fight back though. XXS, he's got to keep his distance here. Make sure those last couple shots, oh, so close. 50 health is all he had. Dyrachyo, he does manage to get off that Satanic. He's laying into XWY. He's getting that full heal. XWY's in trouble, and he's not going to be able to get the blink away. Hates and Celery laying into Monet, and Dyrachyo is on his way. LSA thrown out just to speed him up a little bit more as he threw it on the creeps. Bobica pushed out all of Gaimin Gladiators. The Nullifier put to use, but where's the hits? Nullifier doesn't do a damn thing if nobody's willing to fight back. Aster are just huddled inside of their fountain right now.
There is no fighting back. What is the fighting back? This Quinn buys after that kill bottom. Your troll can't enter the fight. He enters it during BKB. Single 4 staff. Dyrachyo's away. Fights reset. XWY dies on the backside. Wondering where his carry is, but his carry can't be anywhere. Dyrachyo didn't even go BKB this game. He just went Satanic MKB.
Yeah.
This game is just over?
TP'd out and basically in front of Aster. And I don't know if intentional or not, but baited out an amazing fight for Gaimin Gladiators, which will take 2 lanes of barracks. They can't finish up Megas, even if they wanted to. There is still the tier 2 and bottom lane open, but you can see Dyrachyo's like, don't worry guys, I'm going to push it out the wave. You can just cut across, and we can keep the pressure on Aster right here and now.
Troll better hope some items drop from heaven or something, man. I don't know.
Hope there's some sort of coding error and tier 5 item drops for him.
Even then, I don't think you have the damage anymore because XXS went this Nullifier. It's just hard to use. Now you have to sync it up too, right? You have to nullify whoever troll goes on. You have to really make this fight.
Aggressive force staff, but a defensive force staff gets him out of the snowball. The shard does manage to catch 2, but the team is so far away. Now there comes the lasso on XWY. Monet, oh man.
Another one.
BKB straight up to Dyrachyo, and instant force staff solves everything. They use the nullifier onto Ace. They're going to try and kill the other one, but it's not even going to be close. Monet living on a prayer and is now going to die on one as well. Jump over. This is just done. Gaimin Gladiators are rolling over this team fight. They're going to take that tier 2. These shows is like, I don't know what to do, guys. I can't stop them. These 4 staffs are just too damn powerful.
Broke the back of Aster here. I feel like after the 3rd or 4th, I don't even know how many it was, but that's what I'm saying, though. The Nullifier has to come out here, right?
You have to stop him from getting the 4 staff saves. Where was it?
That could have actually been pretty good based on the positioning, but not there in time, and that's just a game.
GG.
4 staff into the lower brackets here.
Push down, and Gaimin Gladiators will push themselves forward 1 step in the upper bracket.
I was not a fan of the drafting today from Aster. I think it was too, I don't want to say cocky, but comfort picks are great. Not in the game where it just looks hopeless, or you have to be 10K ahead off. Lanes.
Yeah, and they took this tree silencer. Didn't look nearly the same as Gaimin Gladiators. I mean, at least their lanes went better, but yeah, it did feel like there was just some unanswered questions here for Aster, and you could see
also unanswered damage. This Underlord with Crimson. Yeah. People forget about this Crimson item, but it is the ultimate item.
guy is as a carry, like, oh, I hate this battle trance. Why can't I control anything? And it's like, Force Aster super meta destroys Troll. Crimson Guard, an often forgot about item, destroys Troll.
Yeah, when the meta items destroy you and the complete non-meta items destroy you, you're in for a rough one.
Yeah, when is he going to be good?
That's what I'm saying. That's part of why I value Ace here is he's very consistent. Thinks about his itemization, buys the right items, plays the game the right way. Remember, he had a really rough start to the lane, and Quinn had an even rougher start, so Quinn took all that triangle farm. Ace didn't get his ancient stacks like he would on a Tide. He didn't get a lot of farm priority. He's kind of quietly farming. Okay, what one aura item is going to be the highest impact in this game? Crimson. For Monet. Yeah. That's it. Game ends. You hit him once. Monet goes bottom. Ults once on his Underlord. Thinks about why he's at this tournament. Has more time to think about it because he's dead. Because he dealt 0 damage.
Yeah.
It's as simple as it is.
Well, he's going to have a full day to think about it, but not too much time because they are going to be in that lower bracket, so they're going to be fighting for elimination the next time we see them on stage. But Gaimin Gladiators showcasing why exactly they were the top seed of Group A. We're going to go ahead and close out this series, though, and see what the panel has to say about Gaimin Gladiators and their performance here.
Thank you very much, Cap and SVG. Indeed, it's us. It's on the panel, and we're here to break down that second game. And I want to just start with thinking that once again, I thought Aster had it. This time, their lead wasn't even only the laning stage, because it was even surpassed that. They were doing really well.
Yeah, I honestly, they made some really good early game rotations. They rotated the silencer mid towards Quinn and just kind of sat there poking him with the tusk of the silencer, where it's like, okay. He couldn't walk into the mid lane and farm like he would like to. Otherwise, the Tusk would just punch him, Silencer would Q him, and if he got low enough, then they would go on him. And then eventually Quinn was able to go back and take some ancient stacks and play the farm game, and he came back. So I don't know. I mean, Gaimin Gladiators, they just look like the way better team there. Tofu on the Riki was such a huge pain in the ass. And he was what's the score? 1-3-13. So it doesn't look that sick because he's 1-3. But every single setup that was good in that game was him just being there on his own. It was insane.
Yeah, it feels like in the first 10 minutes and 15 minutes, they just power up the whole time. Just getting ready. They're losing, but not by so much that it gets out of hand. I mean, it felt like Tofu just lived in the mid lane the first 5 to 10 minute mark. Every time the camera jumps there, he's just there last hitting against a mid player. He's fine, super high armor, Tusk can't kill him. So it's they're just
too fluffy
waiting.
hats.
They just draft for this mid to late game timing, know that they're going to outfarm and eventually win.
I mean, I want to put emphasis on how they played though, because there was things that they did that forced themselves into a better position. For example, Celery playing that Enchantress, something really nice that I liked was when he was just farming Aster's jungle.
So annoying, dude. He was so annoying. He would even a high five.
Yeah,
it's the new tech.
And he's taking farm away from them, and he's annoying them, and he's making heroes chase him. So Aster, this whole thing snowballed into a massive chain of events.
Yeah.
He farms their jungle, forces 4 heroes to chase him. They're chasing him. They go way too far. Gaimin now counter, go.
With Underlord ult and Crimson Guard.
No. There was no Underlord ult, I don't think. But they had the global was forced to be used basically for them to get away on Aster. And then as a result, they smoke up instantly and then go and take a fight on the rune timing, which leads to more spells being used. They get kills, I think, then they try and force Roach, and that turns into a whole thing. Basically, Celery just farming in the right places of the map and being a nuisance led to so many good things happening.
I mean, if we compare that to, from post 5 to post 5, we compare Celery's impact to Pichu. Now, I know they are very different style heroes, Treant and Enchantress, but I do want to give a little bit more light onto this because it did feel like, I don't know, was it just the movement? I will say, actually, Pichu's stats or Siamese Cat stats, they're not looking bad.
They're not bad, but this is just the unique way that Celery plays Enchantress, right? It's his scoreline looks terrible. I remember there was some major where he was 1-15 or something on Enchantress, then voted as the MVP because it always just takes such a commitment to kill him. And then on the flip side, his other support is a Riki. And this Riki went 2 fluffy hats, so he's very tanky, by the way, and then Lotus. So you're forced to use all the sentries because there's a Riki, but then you can't dust them. What do you do? Enchantress on one hand, and then Riki on the other. You can't juggle. These are Dota players.
Yeah, it was really annoying. But at least their safe lane went well on the Aster side. The troll looked like the smartest Underlord counter in the game at the start. They got that small level advantage, and then he just runs them down, right? Normally Underlord's like, okay, I've got Firestorm, and I have more damage than you, and I'm reducing your damage, so I just hit you. But then you'd get Troll Blind, and he's like, oh my god, I just have to run every single time. It looked like he wasn't going to come back into the game until he got that Crimson. So that was a big moment.
The Crimson was hilarious. He was like hitting him, and then the Crimson comes out. He's like, oh.
I got 0 damage.
And then he turned around.
Yeah.
He stopped chasing.
He stopped chasing. What do you want to say? You were very
I
excited.
was very
about
excited. Something that I think is overlooked on Underlord is the damage reduction on his ult. When you pass through the portal, you get a percentage damage reduction. So they were getting, on the level 2 ult, 22% damage reduction. And that lasts for 6 seconds. So when we saw that Roshan fight, a massive part was Underlord just ulted into the middle of the fight, and they start hitting him. He's got Crimson, he's got damage reduction. They're wasting so much time on him, and it allows Gaimin to get a really nice counter initiation.
I saw Monet try to go on Duraccio in that fight. It's like Lina versus Troll. It's like, oh no, like this is it for Gaimin. Like you always want to get the Troll on top of the Lina. He took no damage. Between the Crimson and the Underlord damage reduction.
I'm normally not the biggest Underlord fan, but I really like the way Gaimin Gladiators played it. There is something about seeing a very simple concept. Oh, you know what? All you have to do is have Ricky scout, and then when you find someone, you jump in with Underlord, and everybody shows up to kill that one target.
Yeah.
And to get that timing absolutely perfect, I think they made it just beautiful.
I think it's also like, I mean, Team Aster, they just took this draft from Gaimin Gladiators, right? Like this was Gaimin Gladiators opening. They had the Treant Protector, Nature's Prophet, Silencer. And the way that you deal with Silencer Treant is heroes that like to build Dispels, you know, Tidehunter with Guardian Greaves and Kraken Shell, Underlord. He puts all of his stuff down. He doesn't care if he gets silenced because his stuff is already on the ground, right? So, yeah, they needed one of those 2 heroes. Tide was banned, so they took the Underlord. It looked amazing.
This fight was really impactful. I mean, Nature's Prophet survived, so it looked decent, but this just was like, oh, Lina's really, really, really strong. Even if you almost kill her, eventually she pops Satanic, and she's going to turn and fight you. So definitely one of the big moments of the game.
Yeah, definitely. And at this point, I mean, they couldn't fight her earlier because she still had their Aegis. And, well, obviously you need to kind of fight when they go up high ground. But, yeah, at this point the game was not over completely, but very close to being over.
When you can attack from 800 units and get kills, like just by auto-attacking and moving, yeah, that feels over.
I have a question for you guys because I missed it a little bit in these later fights, but I remember around the mid game, they would have so much nice range poke on Aster that they would force Bat to have to use a Blink Dagger, oh no, BKB, sorry, and then they would always re-counter with the Treant ult, and that made that fight so hard. But in the late game, I don't think I saw Tree get any decent ults.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was just about to say, watching that fight, I think Quinn was very careful pressing BKB, other than in the early game where we saw it. But there were so many fights where I saw him at like 20, 30% HP. It's like, oh, he's dead. He's dead. Oh, he saved the BKB the entire time. And then in that fight, we just saw he had a bottled illusion
as
well.
that one was big. He pops BKB early. He's like, I'm fighting. And she's like, haha, got you. Yeah. Instantly removes it.
It's
I was
important,
like, oh,
but you have to think about these things against Silencer plus Tree. They're countered by the same thing, which is the Dispel. So yeah, you have to be so careful.
Now, I will say that our draft panel, after the draft was done, they said this game was a very, very big outdraft in favor of Gaimin Gladiators. And of course, they ended up winning, but was it that big of an outdraft on hindsight? Of course, we had the 2020 on hindsight. Was it such an outdraft to feel Purge?
I mean, the setup was really good. The stuff they talked about the damage mitigation from Underlord, once you see it, it's very obvious. That Troll attacks so quickly, which is normally amazing, but when you can block it so simply and make that threshold even better with the aura from Underlord, it just felt like so tough to combat.
They had so much. It was all physical damage. You have a Nature's, a Tusk, and a Troll Tricore playing full physical damage. It must be the happiest Crimson God rush of his life.
Yeah, it was just such a good Underlord pick, and their itemization was good too. Like, Crimson is a pretty garbage item. Let's just say it, right? Like, the heroes that it counters, like Beastmaster, like, and whatever, like, you get the Helm Dome too. The Crimson doesn't really do that much against it. But against Troll, who is hitting you, 10 times per second, it's actually good, especially if you have the damage reduction on top of it as well. And like the Ricky Blind and these 4 staffs that kite as well.
And they could have gone even further. They could get, like, if this game goes even later, you pick up a Wraith Pact.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like
Wraith
good
Pact,
against
Shiva's
them.
Guard, yeah. It's
so
AC,
easy.
yeah. It's like there's like a 6-item inventory you can come up with where every single item reduces the Troll's damage by something, and then he's got these 4 staffs to deal with, and the Troll's just like, okay, I see why this hero's not picked that much.
Yeah. And one last thing is that you would usually like supplement that by buying like a Maelstrom, so that then you have magical damage alongside your physical damage. But he didn't itemize for that. He just went full physical.
Yeah.
And with that game done, Aster, of course, they have still shot in the lower bracket. Going back to this game, is there anything particular they can learn? Because from a new perspective, I feel like, they did great in both early games, and then let go of the wheel and see where it ended up. Is that where things went wrong? Is it the draft where things went wrong? Like what focus would you like to see when we see Aster again? Where should they have improved?
I really feel like it was just Gaimin Gladiator had a better idea of what was going to happen in the ultra late game, and they didn't make that many mistakes early. Like, it's just one of those things. Sometimes games feel easy because one hero snowballs and you're like, oh, we're way ahead, it's all good. But if they limit their losses and get to that smart late game win condition, then you just win matches. So like you're like, okay, our lanes aren't as good, but it's okay. So maybe Aster needs to keep that account next time they do drafts.
Yeah, and it's a good thing they prepped for Western European teams.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. Like that is literally like the Western Europe Classic, right? Well, Classic. I mean, the last 2 years is like basically like it looks like you're losing, it looks like you're dying. The score is 9-1 for the enemy team, but then there's not that much of a gold lead, right? Like they are really good at cutting their losses. This is Tundra that trained all the other Western European teams to do that, and obviously won TI with it. So Aster, they're going to be very well aware of this being a thing, and it's like, okay, we fell victim to this. Like, maybe we go for some greedier items and we abuse the fact that they're trying to split push us and not fight us here. Like, I don't know, Midas on Nature's Prophet, or finishing the Gleipnir instead of going for the Ags, because the Ags is more for fighting, Gleipnir is more of like a carry Nature's. Because I didn't really feel the Nature impact on that game. Did you guys?
No, not really.
Not as much as we felt the Nature's impact on the game before that, when it was on the side of Gaimin Gladiators from Ace. So that, there's a little bit of a learning experience there. Gaimin Gladiators, they moved through the upper bracket. Their opponent is not yet known. They also, I feel like, will have some takeaways from the series, though, because when we say, Aster did great the first half of the game, that means the Gaimin Gladiators did not do great in the first, 10, 15 minutes of the game, especially the second game sheep. I felt like they struggled a little bit.
I think it's just, we talked about the importance of Quinn, so when he is getting ganked mid or getting pressured, I think he actually seemed to struggle under that pressure a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I wasn't super impressed with him in that early game.
I think also like the the Underlord lane in this game went kind of badly, and it's one of those things where like I could very easily see them being like, okay, this is just a draft where like we get through the laning phase. That's fine. Those drafts do exist and they're good, and you can't just be like, oh, we need to win all lanes magically. Like it doesn't work that way. But I think they could have done like 10-20% better at least, and they're probably gonna. You don't think so?
It just feels hard because it's their heroes. It's like it's Ricky and Underlord. When they go into Underlord, what does Ricky do? He's like sitting there, stabbing the tree as hard as he can in the package.
Okay, but that's why I'm saying like 10 or 20%. Like maybe a little bit more wave cutting, or they do something to kill the first range creep, or maybe they bring 3 heroes to like block the first wave into the tower so that it bounces out. It's like there's all sorts of like ways you can theory craft to play the lanes better, or they're like, well, we didn't care about the early game. Like, we knew that we just needed to get through the early game. Yeah, it went bad, but we expected it. Who gives a shit? Let's just go to the next series. If we pick a laning draft and we lose lanes, then it's a problem.
Yes.
But if they pick to just, Ricky Dart, like, you're a hero when you get 15 minutes into the game and 1,400 gold. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's all you need. There's one more thing I want to give credits to Sheep, because we talked about the opening of the drafts, the picks and bans and stuff like that, and we're like, are they going to let Lina through? Sheep's like, yeah, they're going to let Lina through and ban Lesh, and that's exactly what they did. Didn't work out, but they did it.
They had decent ideas. Like, we saw how well the early game went. I think they did a pretty good job of pushing her out. And they pressured so many of the cores as well. Like, you're losing your Underlord lane, you're losing your mid lane, and as a result, you talked about the priority of who gets the Ancients, which meant that Batrider was taking stacks, and that means Lina's not getting the stacks. I mean, I think it's just a testament to how well they managed to come back their net worth despite this. To be honest, Gaimin are just.
They were doing a lot of good tree hiding and stuff. Yeah. Like Tarachi on the bot lane when he almost escaped with the Tumbler's toy over the cliff. It just got caught. Like, it was 5 heroes, honestly, so it's not even that bad. But just the fact that they had to make that rotation for him showed that he was taking that, BSJ's dead lane or whatever. He genuinely was very unsafe down there, but he was getting a lot of farm down there.
He's used to that. Like, I think you look at the DBC season, everyone flamed Arachi over and over again. This guy's a feeder. It's because he's been training himself to take the hardest parts of the farm on the map. He said it himself. He said he's comfortable doing it and he likes it.
He said when he goes 0-6 in the laning stage in his pubs, those are the ones that he wins. So he likes playing under that pressure.
Well, he got that, so congratulations to him and his team. They move forward. One of their opponents is going to be playing as well. Well, potentially both potential opponents will be playing later, because we're going to have a series between EG and Entity. It's going to be incredibly hype. But we have to start with a clean slate, or with a clean palette, if you will.
Sírvete, Leo.
Papi, la verdad es que la comida acá es bien rica y te aseguro que muchos jugadores se van a mudar acá solo por nuestra gastronomía.
¿Qué harías que Creed pruebe primero?
Yo creo que lo primero que tiene que probar es su rico cevichito. Mano, la verdad es que ahorita estamos yendo a comer de entrada una rica ocopa. De comida, tu rico lomo saltado con sus papitas, su cebollita, su tomate. Y para que pase, su rica gacela, porque si no, no pasa nada, pues. La verdad es que te voy a llevar un buen caletita, pero que la vas a pasar muy chévere. Yo tengo mi experiencia de años atrás y he vivido con un montón de personas. Obviamente todos jugamos Dota. Siento que el dotero no puedes dejar de comer, ¿no? Rico, porque compartes muchos gustos con las personas como el pollito a la brasa, su lomo.
Deeper. All right. This is Australia or
Leo, ¿tú crees que tu viejito ahorita se quiere preparar